Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the AIA Digital Marketing Podcast. Today we have an exciting new guest who is also a relatively new member to the team, Zaf. Shout out Zaf, welcome.
Thanks for having me,
everybody. Applause.
Applause. I don't know which, I can't remember. Give me a sec. Yeah.
There we go.
First go. Nice. How are you, Zaf?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks, Billy.
Good. And we've got Wade in again. For our regular listeners, you all know who Wade is.
Back from the 70s.
I know you've been missing him.
Haven't we all?
He's brought a jacket in especially for the podcast today.
I look great.
You do look great with that burgundy backdrop as well. It just does. It's so complimenting and
Everything is
fashionable.
image.
Everything is image. Today's episode is about local SEO and GBP.
The Google Business Profile.
Google Business Profile, which has been renamed recently from
Google My Business.
Which was renamed not so recently from
Google My Business to Google Business Profile, which took effect around 3 to 4 months ago. About.
Yeah, cool. And before Google My Business, it was Google Places.
Google Places.
And before Google Places, it was Google Maps. Yeah, something like that. They've switched it up a few times. I'm happy with GBP.
I'm happy with that.
GBP's cool.
So what does that mean for the average person using these apps or services?
Luckily for you, when you go to log in, if you type in Google Maps, Google Places, or Google My Business, they'll all take you to the Google Business Profile search results where you can click in, right?
Yep.
Zaf, you've got some experience with GBP optimization, I believe.
I do.
Yep.
And to any local business owner who's listening, the Google Business Profile is actually a hidden gold mine, which I see a lot of local business owners not taking advantage of. It is belatively quicker to generate results from the platform than your standard SEO. So we're talking anywhere from 3 months versus 12 months, which can take an SEO campaign to mature. And the other thing is you're getting qualified leads who are ready to buy now and have intent picking up the phone and calling you. And that's the power of Google Business Profile and why more local business owners need to know about this and be doing the actions to be able to generate these phone calls.
Yeah,
which
cool.
can be done in less than 3 to 4 hours a month.
Yeah, wow. Okay. It's a highly coveted position in that first page of Google search results, right? It's been coined the snack pack or the 3-pack over the years. And if you're a local business owner, I'm sure that you occasionally search your keywords, plumber and your suburb or electrician in your suburb or dentist and whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And if you've got bricks and mortar or a tightly targeted service area, seeing other businesses constantly coming up in that snack pack in those 3 maps results can be a real grind, right? It can be frustrating, I guess, for business owners.
Absolutely.
But the answer to know what to do is hard, man. That's something that people just don't know, right?
Yeah.
They're like, what do I do? Add some photos, or try to get more reviews. So have you got a kind of a list, maybe a checklist that you think would help business owners?
Yeah, I do. Cool. So I've got 4 things that business owners can do on a month-by-month basis in order to start generating some more phone calls to their business.
Cool.
Did you want me to run through?
Yeah, why not?
Break it down for us.
Start with number
Break
3
it down.
and then go 1 and then do 2.
Okay, so the first thing we need to understand about the Google Business Profile before starting any of this is Google is the #1 search engine in the world. And the kind of direction they're taking is they want to be able to provide searchers with absolutely all the necessary information about a business that you would find on your website. Now, what you'll notice...
Hold the phone. Joe, what's happening, mate? You decided to join us.
Enter stage left.
Come on down.
Busy schedule.
Yeah, have a seat, mate. Pull up.
Drop in. G'day, gents. How are we?
We're all good. We were just uncovering some gold about GBP. GBP.
What do you know about that?
The Great British Pound.
Yeah.
Strongest currency in the world, man.
GBP, Google
5th?
Google Business Profile.
GBP.
Yeah, Zaf, the new member of our team, has brought with him a whole bunch of gold that I'm looking forward to uncovering. So sorry, Zaf, you were interrupted. Let's jump back in.
Apologies, Zaf.
That's all right.
Crack on.
Take it from the top.
So, as I was mentioning, Google wants to be able to provide all the relevant information about a business on their search engines. They want users to be able to spend as long on the search engine without clicking into the website. Because once you've clicked into the website, Google's pretty much lost control over you.
Yes.
So the direction that Google's taking is, let us take everything that a person would search for on the website and let's create this little compact profile which will give users all the information that they need.
Yes.
And as we know, looking at the Google Business Profile, if we break it down, it's got all of the relevant and necessary information. So we've got photos, right? So if we're thinking like a dental practice, we can have a look at the staff, we can have a look into the practice without going on the website. We've got the basic name, address, phone number. We've got the ability to use it as a social media profile to show users what's going on. Are there any special offers? Is there anything new? Any new stuff being added? Just anything important that the business wants to announce. We also have a place of providing special offers. And there is also the ability to answer the public. So anyone can randomly go on and ask questions and you can give answers. And finally, the biggest one is reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that ever since the pandemic has graced us in the last couple of years, that more users have moved to mobile phones and they're making more purchasing decisions from their mobile phones. So this is what makes Google Business Profile really powerful, because if someone is searching for, say, a plumber, they're scrolling down and they're looking at that top 3 map pack, but the first thing that any user looks at, I'm sure this can be said for everyone in the room here, you're pretty much looking at the business with the most reviews. That's what's really going to captivate you, and you're going to click on there and you're going to read a few of the reviews. And what we've found is some people aren't even visiting websites. I think the click rate through a website from the GBP is around 30%. So this shows that 70% of people are making their decisions from just reading the reviews and then straight away calling the business. So that's just a bit of a background spiel before I get into the action steps.
Yep.
So let's
So what you're talking about here, and I think that there's other things that evidence what you're saying. They back up what you're saying, which is that you've got the FAQ schemas, the answers that come up in Google search now, the little sort of drop down boxes,
Yes.
and you can get lost in a rabbit hole with those because every time you click on one, it lists another 10 underneath.
Yes.
They're trying to provide more and more information to people on the search engine results page rather than losing that user that clicks through to a website to find that information, right? And
Correct.
doing the same thing with maps, you can list products and promotions on there as well, right?
Yes.
You can list all of your services. You can, as you mentioned, answer people's questions. So they're trying to kind of keep people on the Google ecosystem
Yes.
for longer, right?
Yep.
Which drives engagement, gets more click-throughs on ads, and just makes their model look better too. They say,
Yes.
look how many hours people spend on our platform, right? Which is a
Definitely.
good thing.
Well, that's Google's vision, right?
Yeah.
To be able to provide all the information that someone is searching for.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised, for now, all the business owners listening to this, Google Business Profile is completely free, but I'm going to call it here, maybe in the next kind of 5 years or maybe a little bit longer, you may have to pay a monthly fee to be able to use that.
Yeah, wow.
So take advantage of it, because it really is a free gold mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I know for myself, man, having been locked out and looking for a locksmith or, needing something nearby, trying to find something nearby. Those maps.
Kebab near me.
Yeah, at 2 a.m, urgently, urgent chili kebab, still open, that you do. You just look straight. You do it almost semi-consciously. You don't kind of go, I'm going to make my decision based on the business that has the most reviews. And, I'm going to look at the star rating and all that. It's just your brain just kind of goes, yeah, they look good. Bang, click on them, right? And you don't even really know why. You don't think consciously about it. It's one of those split-second decision things.
Yeah.
So, that's something that I think is important for businesses to understand, that the power of having that front page presence with all of the data that you've got backed up.
I gotta go, guys. Sorry. I've got
Okay. So with all of the data that you've got backed up, means that you're going to get a higher call through rate, you're going to get a higher click through rate, etc.
Precisely.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to step 1.
All right, cool. So step 1 is optimizing your heading.
Okay.
So, best practice over here, after testing this on many accounts, sometimes businesses tend, so let me talk about a common practice which is used in the SEO world, which marketers use in attempts to get shown on the maps, which is known as keyword stuffing.
Yes.
So keyword stuffing, if I take the example of a dentist, let's say I'm in St. Leonard's, I'm a dentist in St. Leonard's, and I want to rank on the GBP for dental implants, veneers, all the cosmetic stuff.
Yep.
Keyword stuffing is the act of stuffing all of those keywords into your heading. Now, this in the past has worked for businesses, but Google is slowly cracking down on this.
Yes.
And what Google really looks for is the keywords, the heading matching up to the website. Website
when you
name.
say the heading is what they're asking for when you fill that profile out is the business name, right?
Yes,
Yep.
correct. But there is a catch here, Billy. So after doing some testing and writing more than just the business name, we found that Google doesn't penalize when you include your name. So say you're a sole trader plumber. So let's just use your name. I say Billy Paulson, Paulson Plumbing, serving the North Sydney area. That's normally the heading structure, which I find to be the best.
Okay.
And even if someone flags you for that, Google is most likely not going to remove that.
Okay.
Because it's relevant. It's got your name, it's got your business name, and it's got the area that you serve.
Yes. Cool. Okay. So that's one way that you can put some keywords into the heading.
Correct.
If I might have a business name that's like, something that doesn't actually mention the word plumbing in it, right? Might be, or might not have other keywords that you want in there, like block drains or something like that. But if I can say Billy Paulson, Billy's Plumbing, unblocking drains and offering plumbing services on the North Shore, which would be way too long.
That's way too long.
Yeah.
And that would be keyword stuffing.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
if someone was to edit you on that,
Yes.
it would probably get changed back.
Okay.
So really, it's just the business name.
Yep.
It is your name,
Yep.
if applicable.
Yep.
And the area that you serve.
Cool. So the types of people that would put their names in would be like medical professionals mainly, right? Like
Yeah.
that would be something if you're a dentist.
Yep.
You'd put your name in as the dentist, and then the dental practice name. Yeah, cool.
Correct.
Yep. But maybe plumbers wouldn't do that. It'd be a bit.
Maybe not,
Yeah.
unless you were a sole trader.
Yeah. Okay.
Johnny's
cool.
Plumbing.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So, because we've done that over the years, I've added keywords to headlines.
Yes.
With limited success, in the past it has worked quite well. You can put just the keyword you
Yes.
want the maps listing to come up for.
Yep.
And that's kind of like 80% of the job done. Although it only takes a matter of time for Google to come back and say, "Oh no, crossed it out. We're gonna just make it your business name."
That's right. They're cracking down hard.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because that's what everyone was doing.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And it goes back to the old days of those exact matched domains. Like you might have a business name, but you don't register the domain name that's your business name. You register the domain name Commercial Cleaning Sydney, or, like Dentist Sydney or something like
Yes.
.com.au to try to get to the top of the search results. And it worked very well as well.
Yes.
Although it's losing its
Losing its
significantly
mojo.
lost. Yeah, definitely losing its mojo. Yep. Cool.
Cool. So going off that leads us into step number 2. So whilst we're on the topic of keywords, I'm going to talk about reviews.
Mhm.
So that's probably the most obvious one.
Mhm.
And that's going to get you the most bang for your buck in terms of getting you into that top 3.
Mhm.
So just a couple of things I want to talk about here is actually just asking your customers for reviews.
Yes.
Every day I come across a new local business who has a very large customer base, but you go to their Google business profile, it's like 10 or 15 or 20, and you'll see that the last review was probably written, I don't know, could be 6 months ago or a year ago.
Mm.
And yeah, it's just knowing the power of this and what it can get you.
Mm.
It's just very shocking that more business owners aren't asking for more reviews.
Pushing more for the
Yeah.
reviews. Yep.
Is there a kind of grey area for, say, more niche markets that wouldn't really benefit from reviews? Like, say, if you're selling an artwork, a painting, like, it's kind of subjective and hard. It's like, oh, I got my painting on time, 5 stars. Like,
It's also difficult to get reviews for like counsellors.
yeah.
You know, certain industries where people, it's very private. You know, sexual dysfunction services. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that want to jump on there and go, "Hey, my full name is Billy Paulson, and I had a problem in bed." You know, like, but ever since, you know, so there's some industries that it's hard to get reviews for, right?
Mm.
Yeah, certainly. But if you can do it, that's what you're saying, right? Zach?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I'll share a very simple strategy
Yes.
which I give local business owners. If you know any clientele, or if you have any repeat customers who are in your email base or in your text message list, what I would do is I would send them out an email. The subject line would be feedback. Hey Billy, thank you so much for being a customer of XYZ company. We want to be the best at what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Your feedback is appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any feedback for us, please let us know. If not, it would help us out if you leave us a review.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just send this to your customer list or your nominated customers. And that's just a really quick fire way that you can get a few reviews.
Yeah, for sure.
Get momentum going.
Would
Yeah.
you incentivize, you know, the review process? Because a lot of people don't want to give their opinion
For free.
without something.
Yeah,
in
like
return.
without being motivated to do it.
Exactly.
So it's going to depend on industry. So if we look at dentists, which I was working in, which I've worked a lot with, they can't do any incentivizing because they have the APRA guidelines they need to follow.
Sure.
Right. And the health board kind of says that because they're dealing with someone's health, they can't they can't get the opinion of someone else. So if I'm
If they're
saying
not
this
a
is the
medical
best,
professional.
exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm saying that this is the best dentist and I'm using that for marketing, or if I'm saying, hey, I'll give you $100 voucher if you leave us a review, it's not really a genuine, honest review. And that industry, you can get into trouble. Excuse me. You can get into trouble. You can get fined.
Especially with the new TGA laws for health.
Yeah.
We know all about
You're
these
not even
new
allowed
guidelines.
to. Yeah.
Damn big government.
But if we're talking about a plumber, electrician,
Yep.
yeah, you could incentivize.
Yep.
$100 voucher, $50 voucher, do a draw at the end of the
Yep.
month.
Another good way to do this, by the way, guys, is if you're a service-based business and you're on the job or you're in contact with these people, they come in and buy something from you. Maybe they get a key cut or you go out and fix something at their house. Ask them to do the review while you're there. Like, actually offer to help them find the listing and give them back their phone and ask them to write the review right then and there. Because as soon as you've walked off, your chances
game
of
over.
the chances of them actually writing that review, it goes down drastically, right? It's hard to get people motivated to do something when they're happy about something.
Most people are motivated by a negative experience.
Right. That's what will drive most people to take action, is that they're pissed off enough to write a bad review.
Yeah.
But it's rare to get someone who's happy enough to take the time out of their day to write a good review,
Out
right?
of their joy and,
Yeah. So
happiness.
So asking for them to do you that favor while you're there, usually I've found works well from my experience in talking to service-based businesses that are
And
pushing
it's
for
awkward
reviews.
if they don't because you're standing right next
Yeah,
to
they
them.
kind of feel like they have to.
Pressure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And just to add to that, Billy, it surprises me how many business owners don't know that there is a shortened link available in the actual dashboard.
Yes.
Any business owner who's listening to this and doesn't know that there was a link you can actually send people, which once they click the link, it will bring up the star rating and the comment section. You can do that. You can access that in your Google Business Profile dashboard
Whereabouts?
in the home section.
Section? Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice. That's useful. Yeah, because you can then copy that link and add that to your emails. A lot of people actually put it in as like an automatic thing that goes with the invoice. You know what I mean? If they've finished a job straight out of like MYOB or Xero, you can add it as to the email template in your invoicing software, right? So that every single person you do a job for gets a request for a review with a link to be able to just easily click and write one.
It's all about
is
making
useful.
it as easy and accessible as possible.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Okay. So what about commenting on reviews, Zaf?
All right. So best practices there. You want to respond to absolutely every review,
Yes.
whether it's good, whether it's bad. Now, we are going to come across fake reviews. And I think the most important thing here is not to stress out. I've spoken to some local business owners who have been burnt by fake reviews, but
Fake one-star reviews?
fake one-star
Yep.
reviews, and have just decided, hey, I don't
just
want
pretend the whole
any
thing's not
more.
there.
Yeah, pretend it's not there, or
Yeah.
really just stop asking for reviews because they just lose motivation.
Yes.
But the most important thing here is to show other people that we are human.
Yep.
That's the first thing. And number two, that we are willing to come to some sort of solution. So as long as you're responding to every single negative review, even if it's fake, and you're kind of saying, hey, we're here to help. Sorry you had a bad experience or whatnot. Please give us a call and let's come to some sort of conclusion.
Yes.
Other people see that.
Yep.
It shows you're engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I've seen some good responses to bad reviews in my time, having
What's an
read
example?
around. An example of a good response to a bad review is not to make, as the business owner, yourself the victim, right? Like if you've got a legit customer, like even like a fake review is one thing, but if you've got a legit customer review that you stuffed up, you know what I mean? Like you've done something wrong. They weren't happy with the service. They weren't happy with the outcome or something like that. Someone that works for you was rude to them, whatever it might be.
What about a situation where you have a client that no matter what,
Yes.
they'll never be happy? Because every business has had one of those, no matter if you've done the absolute best that you can.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Look, there's people that make a decision early on in the piece that that no matter what you do, they don't like you anymore. Something's happened. You've triggered them, right?
Yeah.
Like, so even for those people, even the people you've gone over and above for, and then they've gone and left that review, the best way to respond, in my opinion, is not to blame them, not to act like you're the victim. You're not. They've reviewed a business, not a person. A business and a person are two separate entities. If you take that review personally and respond as if you're being criticized, and react and retaliate
And act human.
it's going to make you look
Like an idiot.
so much worse.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is, okay, so you've had a bad experience, but we think that's all entirely your fault. And we're not willing to learn and grow or take any form of criticism or ever be told that we're anything other than perfect. You know what I mean? And so that's the kind of business I don't want to work with because they're just going to do what they do no matter what I say or want or have paid for. They're just going to do what they do. And then if anything goes wrong, they're going to blame me. And it's just ugly. You know what I mean as well? Like I've seen some reviews, some good responses are more along the lines of, thank you very much for the feedback. The team and I are really sorry that you've had that experience with us. Our reputation and our customers are really important to us. So we want to do everything that we can to rectify the situation. We've tried contacting you to try to make this right. Here, I'm the owner. Here's my number. Call me so that I can work something out with you to make this right, because we don't want you to be unhappy about the service you've had with us. Something like that, so it's.
But no copy and paste, right? You need to keep it human. I mean, they're all going to be pretty much saying the same thing, but
I've seen some great ones, man. I've seen some great ones. Like, for our competitors, there's like a 1-star review left and says, these guys are just money-hungry criminals. They sell you the world and then you pay and then you get nothing. They don't even answer your phone calls. I didn't get anything that they said they would give. And then you get these people on there, like obviously the owners of the business, saying, yeah, well, you said this and you paid that and now you want that and you were the one that didn't do this and stuff like that. You're just like going, oh God, that is so bad.
It's not the way.
Not the way to do it. It's like
cringy.
Yeah, it's like domestic. It's like it's just it turns straight into a domestic.
Well, you argue with a fool, you're the fool.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, responding to reviews, taking the higher road, and just not being the victim, and understanding that you're representing a business. You're
offering
not defending
solutions.
your honor. You're not defending.
Not excuses.
In the early days, man, when we first started, if we ever got a 1-star review, it would ruin my weekend. You know what I mean? It just sent me down in the pits, man. I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? Like, it ruined. And still to this day, if we were to get one, it does affect me because I care about our customers being happy with us. But like, at the same time, I've been able to, over the years, distance myself a little bit and understand that they are complaining. I think we maybe have out of 125 or 130 reviews, like 5 1-star ones over 10 years, which I think isn't bad. But
that's a great result.
Yeah, I think that they're complaining about an experience they've had with a business. They're not criticizing me personally. You know what I mean? That's a big difference.
Because you're not the creative making the videos.
Yes. The first one we got, I was like, where does this dude live, man? I'm going to get him right now. Let's talk this out.
I'll show you what good
Take
is.
that review down or else, But, yeah, you kind of grow and learn, don't you? Yeah, cool. So replying to reviews is important, Zaf?
Responding to reviews. Now, there's a couple of things I want to touch on here regarding reviews and also tying that into keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So one useful thing which Google is now doing, when you actually go to read all of the reviews, they will actually have on the top, they will have separate tabs with common used keywords. Mm-hmm. So this actually helps with the search. So
sorry to interrupt, but are they keywords relevant to your business or in general?
So these are keywords which are common amongst the reviews which have been made.
Okay.
Now, how does this relate to a business? So I'm going to use the example of a plumber. Let's just say a plumber has 40 reviews and 20 of them were mention hot water systems. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's going to happen is Google is going to identify that as a commonly used phrase. Yeah. And what they're going to what they're going to do is they're going to have a look at that and they're going to be like, okay, it seems like this specific plumber is really good at hot water systems because they have this many people vouching for them. And when people look for a hot water system plumber within that area or surrounding suburbs, these guys are most likely going to pop up. So that's another thing. What your customers write about you and the kind of keywords that they're using can be used to your benefit, in your favor.
Cool.
So is it better to have repetitious type reviews or varied reviews?
So look, if you're a plumber who's just after hot water clients, the more your reviews can mention hot water systems, then the better off it's going to be for you. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's nice if it's varied because it'll kind of cover all the aspects of what you would offer as a plumber or an electrician. Google still does look at that favorably.
Okay,
cool.
And just another thing I wanted to touch on as well, subtly including a keyword when responding to reviews. So let's just say a plumber based in Sydney is responding to a review. Just a simple act of having a signature. So it might be Jim's Plumbing. Hey, thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. Kind regards or best. Jim's Plumbing, plumber in Sydney. Just something as a like an email signature just to sign off. That also helps as well.
Cool.
So from a keyword perspective, obviously you can't control what reviews people write you, but in certain industries, like excluding the medical industry, in plumbing and in, you know, if you're an electrician, you could probably ask them, hey, do you mind if you could just include what you got from us? And 9 times out of 10 people are more than happy to write, hey, I got hot water systems from Jim's Plumbing.
Yeah, nice. Okay, excellent. So you can sneak a few keywords in to the reviews if you ask them to do that, and then also in the replies.
Correct.
Yeah, cool. Sneak a couple of little keywords in there. It's not stuffing, it's sneaking.
business.
Not stuffing, it would be one. So
Strategically placing.
Strategically placing,
Yeah, cool. Yeah, don't stuff them in there though. Like more than one, don't need more than one.
Yeah.
Two's too many. Two, yeah, depending on the length of the review as well, right? Cool. Okay, nice. Step number 2, reviews. People. 3.
Reviews. All right. 3. So Google loves activity. So the last kind of 2 things I have to sign off on are just being present on the Google business profile. So there's 2 ways we can go about this. These are the last 2 steps. So the third step being adding 1 or 2 photos to the business profile every single month, or adding 1 to 2 videos. This goes back to my point about Google just wanting activity. They want to see that you're utilizing their resource, and Google loves it when you use their stuff. It's as simple as that.
They're also like data pigs.
That's
right?
why
Like
they
you
want
can't-
you to stay on there and use it constantly.
The more stuff you upload to the Google sort of ecosystem, the more they love you.
Well, it's
And
more
you-
resource.
You
for
can
them.
never delete it. Like you can delete a video from Google My Business. You couldn't, by the way, a couple of years ago.
Right.
There was no delete button for images or videos that you'd uploaded
Imagine
to.
if you uploaded the wrong picture or video.
Right.
One from your private stash.
Yeah. So
Dunzo.
no delete button. And then also now, even if you do delete them, they're still there in their data center somewhere on some server. There's this little
Secret underground cache.
yeah. So they're just full data pigs. They just hog it all up.
Yes.
No matter, you can't give them enough stuff. They always want more. So
Is there a hierarchy in whether or not videos versus photos for this? What do they favor? I would assume video, but
So yeah, I guess what's more engaging, we all know that video is the future. Well, we've already started to mass adopt a video. We all probably in this room, I could probably speak for all of us when I say that video is more engaging than
Still
actually
images.
text.
Yeah.
people love watching videos on social media on their smartphones. That's the
Well,
thing, right? Everyone's doing that.
It's nature. Any kind of peripheral movements. When you go to a restaurant, if there's a TV, you can't help but look at it.
Yes,
Even if you don't care what's on it.
because it's moving.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a survival mechanism.
Yeah, yeah, it works. You know, which
So
is
videos, people.
that's why you
videos.
see ads now turning into videos on social media, even if they're not video videos, they're motion graphic videos. They're moving. People
Yeah.
are turning images into moving images.
Or
you
even
know.
just putting a linear picture on a timeline and it's 10 seconds long.
yeah,
It doesn't have to change. It's got a change in time.
yeah.
That's
That
enough.
makes Facebook think it's a video.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the audience for a little bit.
So how often do you think you should upload a photo or a video?
So 1 to 2 photos or 1 to 2 videos per month. But if you're trying to be more aggressive, just think of it. If you're in a competitive area, like say you're a plumber in Sydney, and obviously that term is going to be super hard, but the more momentum you can get on your profile, you know, the more Google's going to favor you. So the more you upload, the better. But at the very minimum, if you're not in a competitive area, you can get away with 1 to 2 times a month. What I suggest is have a photo shoot. If, like, say you're a brick and mortar, just take a whole lot of photos, anywhere from 50 to 100. It doesn't matter if the photos are kind of similar. And just keep that in your library and literally just go upload 1 to 2 per month. And it's just easy. You have it there and literally you're set for a few more years.
Yes.
Videos on Google, try and stay away from the humor.
Yep.
Try and keep it strictly educational or offer-based.
Yep.
A really simple thing you can do is just taking short 1-minute FAQ videos.
Yeah, cool. Okay, great. So that's so if you're in a not too competitive space, once or twice a month is enough.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if you are in a competitive space, obviously the more the merrier, right? If you could
The
post
more the
something every
merrier.
day or every other day, that'd be a great thing.
I mean, it really depends as well, what are your competitors doing?
Yes.
Because think about it, it doesn't matter if you're number 1, number 2, or number 3. You're still going to get the visibility. What's more important is that visibility. What you'll notice in a super competitive area is maybe the first guy has like 300 reviews, but then the second guy, there might be a massive disconnect, right? And then the third guy, there'll be more of a disconnect from what the second guy was doing. So you really only need to be doing more than that third listing.
Yes.
To be able to get in there, because you want a piece of the pie. People normally phone around, and if you're in that top 3, then it's
you've got a front page position for free above all the other organic listings. Yep. Yeah, cool. Okay. Was that 3 or 4?
That was 3, but that ties into number 4, which is the posting aspect, Google Posts. And a lot of businesses are slack when it comes to this. This is really important. Again, it's just about activity and momentum.
Yep.
You can post pictures and videos standalone with no specific post, but it's easier if you attach it to a post.
Can it be a post that you've got on your website?
Yes,
or
it can.
should it be its own unique post? Is it duplicate content problem?
You can do a bit of both.
Yep.
From what we've tested, say you have a blog post or an FAQ on your website.
Yep.
You might go ahead and you might only copy paste the first paragraph or the first kind of 2 sentences.
Yep.
You might even change up these sentences just so that it's unique. And then you will just copy and paste a link linking back to your website.
Yeah, cool.
So that brings me kind of to my next point on posts. Google loves linking.
Yes.
And when you link from the Google business profile to other websites which Google favors, like example, YouTube, Blogger, the Google site, which I'll talk about a little bit later. All of these 3 specific platforms, they're owned by Google. If you're linking back to Google, they love that.
Yes.
So, if you have created a YouTube video, which I would strongly recommend to all local business owners, if you're not on YouTube, to strongly get on there, start posting educational content and start linking to your YouTube in every single post that you do. Now, in terms of frequency of posts, I recommend at very minimum, you should be doing 1 post per week. All right? No less than that if you want to remain competitive. Now, for those businesses who aren't in a competitive region and might be saying, hey, Zaf, but my competitors don't really do anything, I would say take advantage of that. If you can do the maximum, then that means you are just going leaps and bounds ahead of them, and you're always going to remain ahead of the curve, because at any point, say another plumber or another electrician could pop up in the area and do exactly what we're discussing today and get ahead of you in no time.
Yes.
So my advice is don't become stagnant. It'll only take you, everything that we've spoken about in this podcast will take you 3 to 4 hours tops even if you're dedicating 1/2 hour twice a week, that's more than sufficient.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Shortcuts to
Nice.
success.
Shortcuts to success, babies. GBP.
Oof.
GBP.
Brand it on your brain.
Nice. Thank you very much, Zaf. That's very useful. With you here, this will be a service that we'll be offering.
Yes, it is. And there are plenty of other tricks of the trade which are not shared in this podcast, which we will be doing on your profile.
Yep.
To get you up there and get you more calls.
It's actually a service that we've not offered before because it was too ambiguous for me. It was like the black box. But I've seen you do some cool stuff that's worked well. So I think that, with you here, we're confident enough to be able to actually promote this as a service to businesses because we think we can definitely help them, which is exciting. Very cool.
Absolutely.
So it's good to have you around, Zaf.
Thank you so much.
I've
It's a
noticed
pleasure
how
to be
well
here.
you speak, how eloquently you speak. I don't know if any of our listeners have noticed this, but Zaf's
Wow. I've
mastered
definitely noticed you have,
the
great.
gift of the gab, mastered the movement of the mouth and the
oratorial
lips
skills.
and the skills there.
Thank you.
Where do you think that comes from, Zaf?
Well, this is my... this is not my first podcast.
Yes.
Or his first rodeo.
Actually, it's only come about recently.
Okay.
To be honest,
Yes.
I've recently been studying a lot on how to articulate my points better.
Yes.
And actually, one action item I've been conscious of every day is to not say the word Don't use filler words.
Yes.
So this is something
It's hard to do, man. That's a hard habit to break.
It is.
Handbrake.
Yeah.
It's been super hard, but literally the last 6 months, I've
Um,
been very conscious of it.
Yes. Okay.
And every time I talk, the normally occurs when a pause is needed.
Yes.
So when I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to say it, pause.
Yes.
Then start your next sentence.
Nice.
Because not every interaction needs to be talking.
Yes.
It's
Not
much
at
more
all.
structured
Yeah. Yeah.
and it draws the listener in.
Yes.
When you have that tonality change, when you have your
Pregnant pause,
pauses.
man. It's powerful. The pregnant pause is powerful.
Don't wait every 9 months.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thank you for coming on, Zaf. We'll do another one soon, huh?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
My
Wade,
pleasure.
you up for doing
With
another
a
one of
voice
these?
like that, how can we say no?
Sorry we've dropped the ball to everyone out there. We have just had Wade getting smashed with all of the videos that people have been buying off us
because
to
we're
promote
busy.
on social media. We are busy.
And we took some time out of our crazy schedule just to
Where did
speak
Joe
to you
go?
people.
Where did Joe go?
Superman.
What the hell was his excuse? It
Superman
better be a
got
good one,
phone
man.
call.
He got a phone call? This is a podcast, man. What's he doing leaving the podcast for a phone call?
Well, you're only as good as your last podcast, and
Yeah.
Joe hasn't been on the ball, so
I-
he might get dropped from the team.
I apologise to our viewers sincerely
Ouch.
for Joe having just bounced out like that. That was rude.
Why did he
Rude.
even come in? That's
Why
the
did-
question.
I don't know, man.
Sit down for 5
That was
minutes, get his
weird.
face out there in front of the world.
That's just weirdo stuff, man. We're gonna have to
we'll
have a
get to
chat
the
with him.
bottom of it next episode.
I'll straighten him out. See ya. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Thanks for the backlinks. We build content. We get more backlinks. We build more content. We also